Alright, I want to work with macros today. So if you open up the file macro1 video companion file, I have a couple of pre-created macros, and macros are programs written in Visual Basic that will hopefully make your life easier. In this case, I got a couple of macros that put in subtotals by salesperson or by product and remove subtotals. But before you can run macros, just make sure you have macros enabled. And quick check, you click on the Office button tool, go into Excel options, make sure you check this off, the Show to Developer tab in the ribbon. Again, this is Developer is the how to write programs. Hit OK out of here, and then on the Developer tab, go to Macro Security and make sure you enable all macros, right? Because macros can be viruses, so it's not automatically set to run macros. OK out of here. You may have to close out of the file and open it back up again if you didn't have a macros enabled for it to register that. But I'm ready to run my macros now. So the boss calls me up and do subtotals by salesperson. The totals for each salesperson, the sale price. I click on the button and boom, puts it in. Basically, I record the keystrokes to do this automatically. Before I can do subtotals by product, I have to remove the subtotals. There's a macro down here automatically does it, and I click on the button subtotals for a product, and then boom, I automatically have my subtotals for each product. So on the final exam, basically I could have a button for each question on the final exam, and you just click through the 40-some buttons and you could be done with the exam quickly. So I'm going to remove my subtotals here. I'm going to do one more I'm going to do another macro here to print this spreadsheet out, print out this data without the buttons here. So I'm just going to highlight my information. I'm going to give it a name. Life's a lot easier if you name cells and go to the named range first. So I'm going to call this my PRT data range, no spaces in range names. Enter on that. And then I'm going to record a macro basically that selects this area, sets the print area, and tells it to go into print preview instead of print because I don't want to waste the paper. So I'm going to record my macro and then give it some name. This is going to be I'm going to give it something different. It's called my PRT data 1. It's a good idea to name things different than named ranges, right? Give it its own unique name. I hit OK, and it's recording my keystrokes now. So I want to be deliberate, do specifically what I want to do. I want to first select the area to print, but then hit the drop down arrow in the name range and choose that print data. I'm going to set this as my print area, so page layout, set print area. I could do a bunch of other print commands, but that's basically all I want to do. Here I'm just going to tell it to go in the print preview instead of print. And then there it goes. Right? So I'm just going to close this up and then stop recording. Here's the most important part of macros. Stop recording. So on the Developer tab, choose Stop Recording, because if I don't stop, I'll be in an infinite loop. Boom, I'm all set. So I have my macro. I can see if it works. I can click on macros, and here's the name of my macro, PRT data 1. Double click on it, runs it. But then I want to have it as a button out here. So I'm just going to insert some. I could put a picture in, but I'm just going to put some shape in. I'm going to put a quick smiley face for the fun of it. I could put the text. Click here to print, but it's fine enough for me. I'm just going to right click now in the shape and assign it a macro. And I'm going to click on that macro that I recorded, PRT data 1, hit OK. Once I click off it, then I can actually hit it, and there it prints it out, or goes in the print preview. So macros, you just go through the keystrokes recording them. Make sure you turn off the recorder, and then any object I draw, I can assign a macro to it. Bring in a picture, draw an object, add text to it. If I want to move this button around now, I got to right click on it to select it, and then I can move it around, or I could add some text to it. So macros, fairly easy, but be careful. Save the file before you try doing a macro. Things can go wrong. Usually you save it as a different name, so if something goes wrong, it may destroy your original file. Just be careful with macros. Slow up. Take your time.